right now. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Spotify. If you are watching us, this is Talk and Talk. We are in the immersion, and today we are talking about being an autodidactic person. Basically, being self-taught, learning things by yourself. And I am Bruna, and I am the hostess. I am not a teacher here. I am just here to guide the conversation and make sure everybody's going to have a good experience and be able to practice their English. This is not a class, it's just a conversation. So we're going to speak in English 100% of the time. Nobody here is going to teach or to correct or judge you somehow. It's just a safe place to talk. Today I have with me Robert, Wanda, Mateus, and Edna. And since it's 5 people, I think there's no need to split, guys. But if someone else joins us, I will be split us in the breakout rooms. All right. Well, as usual, we always start introducing ourselves. So I want to know from you. I will start already asking you if you guys, what do you guys think it's a person who is an autodidact? What is the meaning of being an autodidact and introduce yourself to? Let's start from you, Robert. Go ahead.
My name is Robert. I'm married. I have 4 kids. I work with 3D for VR, Metaverso, and game. And I'm a totally autodidactic.
Really?
In my work. I start my career in, I don't remember. I'm an old guy. But I started using a software, and 3D Max is a software to modeling some things. And I started with a book. I don't know the year. And
Very
of
good.
course, I learning day by day.
Amazing. Very good. Yeah, and I can imagine like that at that time there weren't a lot of people doing it and like talking about it, and there wasn't like internet the way it is nowadays. So I can imagine it was harder, right? To
Yes.
to do it. Let me say hi to the girls. Hello, Rosalia. Hello, Bru. How are you, girls?
Hello, everyone.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm great, girls. Thank you so much for asking. Now that you arrived, I'm going to split us, all right? Today we're talking about being an autodidactic person, and we have just started with the introductions. So Robert was introducing himself. I'm going to split you guys in the breakout rooms, and please don't forget to start introducing yourself, and then you can go straight to the question. All right? I'm going to have here in the main room with me today Rosalia, Mateus, and Robert. All right, and then maybe let me see, and then the other guys are going to the breakout room. Okay, I think I'm gonna send Mateus to the, or let me see. No, let's do it like this. All right, going to be good. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I changed a little bit, so the girls are going to the breakout room, and I will be with the guys. All right. So girls, enjoy it, and I see you girls in 45 minutes, around 45. All right. Bye. See you soon. All right. So let's be with the guys. Mateus and Drew, can you introduce yourself and share with us if you have already had this experience of learning something on your own?
Yes, of course. So I live in Curitiba, and I am 27 years old, and I have a lot of interests and things that I try to learn on my own. I think that in my profession, in my career, it's very necessary to be an autodidact sometimes. I am a software engineer, so we have to keep learning every day. There is new things to learn, and we have to go after this knowledge. And I think I am very autodidact, but I also think that there is some things that I not able to learn on my own or alone. You
Like
can talk.
what?
I think that, for example, one thing that I have tried to do on my own, but I wasn't able to do it. I tried. It's like uh, exercises, physical exercises.
Mhm.
I think the experience of doing it with a teacher, it's better because you don't uh, have the risk of getting an injury or doing the the exercises wrong. So I think this is something that is better to learn with a teacher.
Definitely.
Also, another thing that I see that a lot of people can learn on their own. It's like music, doing music, playing an instrument. I see a lot of people learning learning this alone, but this is something that I feel that when I want to learn it, but I want to learn it with a teacher too.
I feel you. I think I was going to think here. If I have already learned something by myself, and I don't remember, guys. I don't think so. I think like I think I started, but then in the middle of the process, I always feel I need some help, some guidance.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I just introduced myself like really quickly. My name is Bruna. I'm 27. I live in São Paulo with my family. I like dancing, learning languages. I've been learning Spanish too. Something else you don't know about me. I don't like some vegetables such as carrot and beetroot, but I eat because my mom has always forced me. And when I see these vegetables, I force myself to eat. Like, oh, even like I don't like it, but I know it is important to eat them. So that's it, guys. I don't like carrots, but I know we have to eat them. And yeah, that's it about me. Just new information. I think you guys, I think I've never talked about it here. Well, for me, as I was saying, I think I've never learned something by myself for a long period of time. I studied English by myself for a while, but there are some challenges, when you don't know where to go to. Um, I didn't know how to do a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's impossible, to learn by ourselves. I just think it requires us more resilience too, because we need to be consistent, and it's difficult when you're doing it by yourself because you don't have support. So it's like it's you and your mind. Well, let's think of the challenge now. Robert, what were the challenge you experienced when you were learning um the stuff you learned by yourself? The,
Number two,
number 3.
three. Okay. Um, it's hard because when I started, for example, in my work, I started without internet. I need to read some books and some short videos, and of course, training by myself. And of course, share my bad and good experience with my friends in my work.
Yeah.
It's good because when you're learning alone, you, in my case, of course, I record better in my mind.
Really? How like let's mix a little bit with question number 2. How important you think it is to learn things by ourselves?
uh, Number two, okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, it's I record better when you do some things and you wrong, you know, for me it's very important. I record forever in my mind.
Very good. I feel that when we are doing when we are studying or learning something by ourselves, we learn about ourselves too. You know, like you learn that sometimes you need to force yourself to study, and even when you're tired, you need to do it anyways.
And you teach other people's when you learning with your wrongs.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah, so I feel it's not just I don't learn only the subject I am studying, but I learn about myself too, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. And you, Mateus, how important do you think it's to learn how to learn by yourself ourselves?
Uh, I think it's very important. I agree with you. I think that when we are learning by ourselves, we learn a lot about ourselves. I think that we get so much insight about how we feel about things too, and I personally not just about learning, but I think that people need to get some time alone to I think that everyone needs it, be it for meditating, praying, learning. I think that it's an introspective experience that it's good for everyone. I think that uh, and learning it's such a rich experience you can have by yourself. I think that it I think it's very good for your mind to learn things on your own.
Definitely, it is. I totally agree with you. And it's nice what you said. You compare it to meditation, you know, because it's basically it's you. We are like we like having a moment for ourselves to get to know ourselves too
Yeah.
in the process, right? Yes, yes, very good. But I am just like you. I feel I need someone, you know, I feel someone choose like a group or a person choose just
Yes.
to me
I
somehow.
I think that a little about the question number 3 about the challenges of learning by yourselves. I think that uh, when we are learning with other people, we get a faster feedback loop of what you are doing. If you are doing it right, if you are learning it right, you you know you if you are doing something wrong more quickly, and it's for me I think that it's faster to know your mistakes, and this is a big a very important thing about learning. It's doing it's getting things wrong too and
Yeah.
then uh, knowing how to do it right. I think that this is very important, and I think that it's faster when we are doing with other people, at least for me.
Yes, couldn't agree more. It was really nice what you said because not just have the feedback or see where we are making mistakes, but also maybe have. I think I will like keep this word guidance. You know, like see what
Yeah.
other people are doing and just try to follow the same way. You know, or uh, just hear someone who is more experienced than us. You know, this is
Yes.
really nice. Yeah.
Sorry, I need to talk this. My younger daughter come here and show me. She it found this meeting in the YouTube.
I need to. She's watching us. Very good. I loved it. I love children. Oh my God. And Robert, let's go for you now. How do you think someone who is learning something by themselves can track their learning process? Like how can they track and just organize what they are studying or they are learning?
Uh, my wife, my wife fight to me because I say, if you know read and listen, you is a autodidact person.
You think? Mhm.
Of course, I'm kidding. But when I start, for example, I changed my software uh, some days ago, and when I need to learning, I think I need to this for do this. Check. Okay, I learn about this only. Second pass, I need to light this environment. I learn how can I do lighting in this software, for example.
Mhm.
And I learning on this step by step.
Mhm.
Is more important for me.
Mhm. Very good. Have you ever tried these strategies like to learn by yourself when guys today it's so hard to talk learning by yourself when you are learning English? It's you, Robert. Have you ever tried any strategy to learn by yourself when you were learning English?
Okay, yes. I need to I need to how can I say
Participate.
participate in more classes. But I love watching Oscar um, how can I say premiação do Oscar
Awards. Oscar.
Oscar awards. I love to train my listen, of course in immersion. I I I I train my speaking in my listen, and I sometimes I read some things, but I don't have a strategy.
I got it. It's just freestyle.
Freestyle.
All right, all right. Very good. Yeah, I am really thinking about that. I feel last year my English couldn't I didn't develop my English the way I wanted it to develop. So this year I am trying to read more and write more the words I am learning and try to use them. But it's too new, I started this week. So it's difficult. But I feel that autodidactics can track their progress by, I don't know, I know on the internet we can find like steps, like if you are a beginner in English, study this, and this subject. If you are learning how to play an instrument, you start from this and this point. I feel this is a good way of tracking and like knowing where to go to. And this is what I did when I learned or when I studied English by myself for a while. I found some guides, what an intermediate student needs to know, what an advanced student needs to know. And I was just studying these subjects, and it was really
but,
helpful. So,
my freestyle learning is bad because I know I need to learn much more about grammatic, it's very important. I know this, but
yeah. And I think a mixture of grammar and vocab is important, because only grammar is also boring because it's just about doing exercises and but I feel when we connect this to the new words and the vocabulary we are we're learning, it's good, you know. That's it. Mateus and Joe, how do you think autodidacts can track their progress? Have you ever tried any of these things?
Yes, I think that two things that you guys talked about. Robert talked about learning based on an objective. I want to learn this to do that. I think that it's for me at least, it's very effective. I think at least in my career, I think that this is very effective for me. Or like project based learning, where I learn things to accomplish to do a project. I think that it's very good because you are learning with a purpose. You have the purpose of finishing something, doing something. So I think that it's very good to even to keep you motivated for more time, because you don't want to to let your project abandon it. So I think that this is something that I, I am trying to do in the last uh, few months, like not just learning by learning for learning, but learning for do something. Uh, this is
Yeah.
at least in my career, it's very effective. I am a programmer, so I like
You is front end developer? I don't remember.
yes.
Okay.
Actually, I do. This is something that also related to learning. I also branch a lot the knowledge. So sometimes uh, I'm trying to learn something about front end, and I end up learning a lot of things about back end, about mobile, and I have to get back the focus on what I was trying to learn. So this is something that trying to base my learning on projects helps, because I have the focus of finishing the project, so it's easier. And other thing that I want to share with you guys a method that I'm trying to follow to keep tracking of my learning. That
Mhm.
is the zero casting method. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I will just share the name because it's a German name, but it's a method that you when you are learning something, you write your notes, but for every note you give it an identifier, being it on the paper or in some software. You
Mhm.
give the note an identifier, and the the catch, I think, it's when you write, you can link this note with other notes. So this takes advantage of, or I think, the human learning process of linking things or in your head to learn, and having uh, uh, like relationships in your head about concepts. So it's very nice. I'm trying to do it. The problem is that I sometimes when I learning something, I just forget to write the notes. So uh, this is a downside of this method. You have to write what you are learning, and I'm kind of uh, I not used to learn things by doing notes. I learn things more about by doing uh, by executing what I'm learning. More like what Robert said about the freestyle method of learning.
Yeah, really nice. I don't know if I understood that well how it works, but I googled here. So you are like, I don't know, I'm studying about the past. Then I write down my notes. And then when I'm studying about something else. I don't know. I try to connect these two things. Is that it?
Yes, you create links between them. Like it's like if you are creating your own Wikipedia. So you write the notes and you are talking about something that, and in you write the notes with you what you understood about what you were learning, and with your own words, so you can relate it with it easily. And when what you are writing relates to another thing, you can link to the other thing, so that that is another card or another note or on other place. So you have the identifier, you link with it, and when you when you review the note, you can go to the links and have the fresh concept in your head. And I think it's, for me at least, it's been I am trying this for I think a month now, and it's effective because I know where to find things very quickly, and I have to remember concepts and
Very nice.
general knowledge.
Very good. I loved it. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing, Mateus. I didn't know this method, but I have already saved here and Googled an article where it explains it better.
There is a lot of videos on YouTube explaining it, people doing it.
I'll do it. Thank you so much for sharing it. I've been using Notion to organize my learning process, and I know on Notion you can link stuff, you know, like link pages, and I am interested to see how it's going to work. So thank you so much. Guys, let me see. I created a question here because I remember when I first had my first job interview, there was a guy there who wanted to be a teacher and to work at the school. And he said he learned English by his own. And I remember my boss telling me after it, like when I got the job, you know, he said he didn't trust the guy that much because he didn't have access to formal education, and he learned the things by himself. So I want to know from you guys, if you think guys who are autodidactic, if they have less job opportunities than someone who had access to formal education. So let's start with you, Robert. Like, do you think if you didn't have access to formal education, you don't have the skill that much as someone who had? Do you think this influenced the amount of knowledge you had? Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Robert. I can't hear you. All right. Now it's working. It's okay.
A lot of things here in my
okay.
desk. Can you repeat, please?
Of course. There are some guys who had access to formal education, like they went to college and everything, and some others, they learned things by themselves. Do you think if you learned by yourself, if you are an autodidactic, you have less knowledge, or you have less opportunities to get a job?
No. I repeat, I'm an old guy, but my mind is very young.
Okay.
But the world changed. I say for my wife, you need use a traditional school. Yes and not. Depend. What your job? What do you want for your life? You know, I work with 3D. Today exists high school for this, and high school, no, university for this. for some subjects about this animation. In the France, exists Gobelin. It's a big school about animation, you know. But in my case, I work with animation. I work with modeling, lighting. You don't have a school, a good school for this. You need to learning alone, you know. A programmer, of course, you need a university. Of course, you need for some jobs. You need, of course, but if you can work with a programming, you learn about this. Of course, it's very hard. Programming is very hard. I started learning C++. Is very hard, you know.
Yeah,
I
it
watch
is.
some videos in YouTube. Hey, learning, I know, be a programmer in 6 months. No, man, this not exists. Not only for programming, for 3D, for teacher English, for nothing. You need to learning a lot of years to do
Yes, and I
this, you
think,
know.
yeah, and just like you were saying, I think we are going to learn forever, you know. This
Forever.
this like mainly last year, I felt I needed to develop some things, and yesterday I downloaded some books on teaching, you know. It's
Yes.
I am not perfect, you know, and I still need to learn more about my areas.
My wife is a speech therapist, you know,
Mhm.
and learning day by day about
Yeah.
your job.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yes, it's
Of
forever.
you need
So,
a university. Sometimes
yeah.
you need a school, but depends.
Yes, it's really nice what you said, because it really depends on the area, right? Like I won't trust a doctor who didn't go to college, you know, or
Mhm.
I won't trust a speech therapist who like didn't go to college, you know. But for example,
Yes.
if you work in tech, there are a lot of courses. But for example, in your area, you said, oh, you can study in France, but not everybody has the amount of money to travel to France to study
Yes.
there, you know. And the
I need
strategies
to
we need to
learn
find,
alone
yes,
without money. Of
yeah,
course. It,
that's it. So even like working as a teacher, you know, I have a friend, he's an English teacher, and he didn't go to college, you know. And I always tell him, of course it's important to go to college if you want to be an English teacher, but in college we learn a lot about working at schools, right? And we don't learn about online teaching. At least I didn't learn anything. Everything I know about online teaching, I learned like working online, you know. So it's not always we have the chance to learn things in college. And I'm not saying college is not important, but there are things like we just learn from courses, from life, from experiencing. So it's really, really hard. But I am with you, Robert. What do you think about it, Mateus? How do you see it?
Uh, I think that, like you said, I think that depends a lot of what you choose as a career. Because nowadays you can learn about anything in online, but there are things that you can't. I think that you can learn like the theory, but the college sometimes give you the practice in some professions. Uh, what I'm saying, it's like you said, a doctor. Uh, a doctor in college, he will have a lot of experience, and he'll be there for like at least 5 years, uh, having the contact with other professionals, the teachers, doing practicing things that how you execute in the daily job. So, and we can't have access to those things in our homes without the proper tools. I think that but for a programmer, a 3D artist, it's very more accessible. You can do it in you just need a computer, and a lot of m- uh, it's not motivation what I was trying to talk, but a lot of discipline and a lot of time invested in learning it. So it's not easy, but you can do it alone. But some things you just can't. You need to talk to more experienced people to have
I need,
lessons. What's
I
your
need,
laughing?
Go ahead, Robert.
Go ahead.
to kid you with Mateus. You need to RGB keyboard.
Yeah.
Look, Robert, he has the same keyboard. Is this keyboard special, guys? Because
sorry.
no, it's okay. My brother has this keyboard too. Is this like, I don't know.
I kid you
Yeah,
with my life. I needed this to do my modeling much better.
it must be mechanical with blue switches.
Is it better, guys? Because a lot of people have these kind of keyboards. My brother has it. He built it his own. He like changes the keys, and everything.
I love when I discover the mechanical keyboards. I love it's so special.
It's heavy, right?
It's brand new. It's a K-Chrome. It's my dream.
Yeah, I want to buy a Keychron one day too.
Is it expensive, guys?
Mine is from China.
My first is from China. It's a Blitzwolf. You know this brand?
No, I never heard of. It's mine is a Key Move.
Why is it so special?
For me, I think that the tactile. I think
Yes.
when you press a key, you like feel it. You heard it.
It's different.
Yes,
Of
it's
course,
a good sensation.
And the sound is different.
Yes.
I use a brown switch. It's very silence.
Yes.
Very good, guys. I will find more information about it because it's expensive, right? Like not cheap, but it seems nice. A lot of people.
Yes, but about related to learning too and working, I think that it makes the experience of being long hours in front of the computer kind of a little better. So it's good. It's something that gives you some pleasure in doing this kind of work.
And a bit of frescura.
Yes, of course.
I don't know how to say this word in English, but we can find it here. Very good, guys. Let me see. There are some other questions. They are a bit similar. So I will go to question number 8. How can autodidacts find help if they are stuck or if they need guidance? If they are doing on their own, What do you think, Robert?
Today you have YouTube, of course, and your friends in your job. I use a Discord. It's a software to meeting, and I have some communities and I have a lot of brothers working like my job. Maybe that's it. Of course, I use a specific tool. Is a engine game, you know. The name is Unreal, and this tool have documentation. You need to learn it. This documentation sometimes, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think nowadays the internet helps us a lot, right?
Yes,
Finding communities is something nice you said, or finding people who you can trust. For example, when I started learning English by myself or studying by myself, I found an amazing teacher and I was following her and commenting her stories all the time. We created a connection. When I had money, I bought her course. We became friends. I started studying at her school. She invited me to work with her because she saw I was like dedicated and I was like, and then like I really wanted to learn, and so I feel that's the point, show you are interested, and then you will find connections and you will find like people who want to help you. Of course, sometimes we don't work with like people who are studying or are learning the same things we are learning, but if you find the right person, you may need to dedicate yourself a little bit, to find like guys who really want to help. But there is a lot of nice guys in the world, and there are a lot of nice people who want to help. So I feel that's it, like find communities or find like people who are engaged in helping, I think
this
is
is
a
very
great.
important. I am very grateful for my friends.
Yes.
I learning a lot with my friend.
Yeah, very good. And you, Mateus, share with us.
Uh, Talking a little about my profession, I think that there is a lot of resources online. There is the site called Stack Overflow, where you can ask anything and people answer there very quickly. And you, I begin answering too after some time in the profession, and it's very good. It's very good also to be there and be answering the people's questions. Uh, but I think that's something that Robert said about documentations are very important too. When we are learning some tool, some software, something that uh, uh, other person made this software and they document it. They tell you how you use it, so it's very helpful. But about other things we can learn. I was thinking, going a little back to the other question, that the one of the advantages that you get when you go to college, it's what you said, Bruna. Have you do a lot of connections with people that are learning the same things with uh, that you are learning. So this is one of the biggest advantages of going to a college, I think, because this is something that it's harder to do it if you're not in this environment. But today, I think that with the internet, the communities, you can find a community about anything that you want to learn online. So uh, today, I think it's very easy to find this help online. But I think that having a mentor, someone to guide you on the learning process of something, it's very, very helpful to the learning process too.
Couldn't agree more with you. Very good. It was really, really nice talk, guys. I just want to ask you the last one before I bring the girls back from the breakout room. It's the 9th. What advice would you give to an aspiring autodidact? Someone who wants to start learning something today, you know, what advice would you give them, Robert?
Read a lot. Sorry, read a lot, of course. You need forgot your I can say preguiça.
Laziness. Forget the laziness. Yeah.
I have of course sometimes, but when you need learning alone.
That's true.
Today, maybe YouTube for me is so special for everything. You know, in my job, I use a lot. YouTube for me is special to autodidactic person. You know, YouTube.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I would say find have a plan, you know, with the subjects or the things you are going to study. Like you can follow a book or you can follow a list on the internet. I think this can help. And just like Matheus said, find someone who is going to inspire you, you know, someone who you can admire, and like this. I think it's good to have this image of like someone who is going to inspire you, and you just want to be as good as them, you know, or you can use them as your example to motivate you to, and try to find a community. I think this is a good idea. And you, Matheus.
I will share with you guys another resource that helped me a lot in this process of being an autodidact. There is, just a moment, there is a book and there is a free course on Coursera that is called Learning How to Learn. I don't know if you guys already heard about it, but
Amazing.
yeah, it's very good. It gives you a lot of insights about how learning works and how you can optimize your learning. And I think that it's very important to have a plan to like I said, to have a clear objective of what you are going to do with what you are learning. For example, I'm here trying to learn English and get better at English because I want to work remotely for companies, for international companies. So it's a clear objective for me, and I know that I need to be more comfortable with my English, and I know I need to be to have a broader vocabulary. So it's a clear objective, and this is something that this is the main advice that I give to people who want to learn something. Try to have a project, to do things with what you are learning, not just learn by learning.
Yes, definitely. Very good, Matheus. I loved your advice. It's really important. And let's hear from the girls. How was you girls look serious. How was the conversation, Rosalia?
It was so good because you have time to speak a lot about the autodidact, how to learn alone, but you spend our conversation for another way. It's not only like that.
That's good. And I love when this happens. Here in the main room, the guys shared with me their keyboard, the keyboard they like to use, and they shared how good this keyboard is. Amazing. It wasn't definitely just about the topic, and I love when this happens. Yeah. How was the conversation for you, Edna? Did you like this subject?
It's amazing. It's amazing. The group is I appreciate so much, and because we answer 3 questions, but because of the explanations and the other things, and it's very, very good. But the suggestions is very important, for us.
Very good. Have you ever learned something by yourself?
Sorry, Bruna?
I will say it again. Have you ever learned something by yourself, Edna?
Yes. I necessarily know in our professions, being autodidact. Every day I learn, and is very important, the routine, the goal, and the discipline, and all for the because the autodidact, in my opinion, must the goal, must the method, and the routine is very important for the active and the goal. No?
Amazing. I couldn't agree more. And you said something really nice, about having a routine and knowing what your goal is. Mateus talked a lot about it here in the main room, and I couldn't agree more with you. Thank you so much for sharing. Wanda, I want to hear from you if you think people who are autodidacts, if they have less chances to get a job since they didn't have formal education, how do you see this?
I know that because my son work in the Snapchat, and nowadays they don't like the resume so strong. It's not necessary. They in the interview they see about the person, like the whole person, and it's not necessary. Day by day can be not necessary anymore the strong resume.
It was really nice what you said, and that's basically what we were talking here in the main room. Not always having access to formal education is going to be is going to say that you are the best professional, right? So
Yeah.
there are other skills and other things that are
Like
also
Steve Jobs.
Definitely.
They create all the Apple is out of formal education.
Yeah, very nice. Guys, thank you so much, Wanda. I loved what you said. It was a pleasure having you here. I hope you guys have a great day. And you can send your feedback here in the link, complaints, suggestions, ideas if you want to. I am always open to hear you. And I hope you have a great Wednesday. Have a great day. And